Okay, this is either the second half or part 2 of set 10278, the new police station, working on this window on the second floor, and they're doing some more snot builds. They've used these pieces that are just like the gray doubles that you see more often, that have the studs on the side but that perfectly align without throwing it off a little bit like that does. If you can see, the stud is just slightly off if you do 2 of them. And the nice thing is, when you have 3 of these like this, it's exactly 5 studs high, because each one of these is basically 1 plate off of having a full stud or a full brick, and 3 plates equals a brick. So then you take your brick, put it on top like that. Then they've thrown on a few plates with the rail, and if I can find the right tile, throw on the tile, and I built it backwards because I'm not paying attention. Okay, that's the right way, and boom, fits right on there. And I like how they've done these columns. It's a nice clean look, especially when they add these little half rounds on top. It fits just perfectly with the top of the plate, which again just sticks over the lip here. But I'll finish this up. Well, if you saw my last mock, you'll know that I had fun building sinks and ovens and stuff like that, and I am really liking the way they've designed these. So this is the oven. It's got one of the stud on the side bricks. It's actually got the double and the single. And then they've got this for the stove. It's just a black 2x2 plate. And then on the sink, they use again, and they have used a lot of these lately, is the bracket with the studs in the middle. And then on top of that, they added, oops, got it upside down. Here's their sink basin. And then one of the slope pieces like that. And there you go. You've got a sink and a faucet. I haven't actually used one of those as a faucet. I think I've used them for a shower, but I think that is quite a nice little design. So I'm working on the decorative edge on the front, and they've done some more very interesting building techniques. So these dark tan pieces are brackets, and they've put the singles with the pin in the middle on the back, plate on the front, and then there's going to be tile there. And then they take the 1x2 plates that are rounded on the edge, invert them, put them over the pin, take a jumper plate, use the hole in the jumper to go into the pin on that plate. And all of this is just to give you kind of the depth space, because then they take this, snap it down there to get this decorative edge. I thought that was very, very interesting how they've been doing all this, and I'm going to keep going. Well, I'm not certain if this piece is new. I don't know if you can see it very well. There we go. It's basically an egg, and I like it because it's going to have, I mean, if they produce a lot of these are going to be quite handy for a lot of decorations. Working on the 3rd floor of the police station right now. Well, it looks like we have yet another new piece. It is a 3-stud inverted tile with a pin in the middle, so you can stick, if I don't fumble too much, one of those little babies in there. I like all the new pieces that are coming out. This is going to be quite fun. Well, I don't know if this brick is new or not. I have never had a set with it in it. I don't know what purpose it could really serve, but it's got this profile, and then it's got, you know, that weird little bump in the middle. And you can probably hear my kids yelling in the background, so we'll see how well this turns out. But anyways, I'm almost done, and then we'll show the whole thing. I should really try and clean up the background every time I shoot these, but I have limited space to work in. So here's the second floor. There is the Donut Thieves living quarters. As you can tell, he's going down the trap hole, which is under his bed, to get his donuts. And then we have the upper part of the police station. I actually thought it was funny when I saw the rotary phone, and I'm thinking, does anybody know what a rotary phone is anymore? And then I noticed the typewriter as well. I'm like, oh, we've gone back in the past, so we're clearly not in the present. And then we have our third floor, at least on the station itself. And up there we have an interrogation room with a reel recorder. Again, we're probably back in the 50s or 60s maybe at this point. And then we have a little toilet, and I actually liked how they used that, what was it, a 1x3 inverted tile to make that space. And then we have our roof. This roof has a little water tower. That one's got a vent and the beacons. I actually liked how they did the fire escape back here. Very simple. This would have been great to have used for my mock of the new house building in particular, although it may have been a little wide. And these ladders with the prongs on both ends are actually quite expensive. And I think that is about it. Oh, I forgot to show one thing. So when you're taking it apart, the sign here goes up so you don't have to worry about, otherwise it would break off every time you opened it. So one thing I forgot to show is right up here in this little section, this roof piece comes out. You've got some canisters, crowbar, and then you've got some more, you've got a hat, a pan, some cookies, and some other stuff. And and there's a gem there. I think, based on the door right there, since it's a different type of door, I don't think it's a fridge. I think it's an evidence room, but that's just my guess. Anyway, they made it so you can see everything and pull that off. Almost forgot to show that. Since I realized I turned my camera while I was shooting, I'm sure most of you aren't going to want to watch the last part of that with your heads turned. So here's the completed project. This is one of my favorite builds, modular builds to date. I love the techniques. Forgot to mention one thing though. Take off the roof here. I found it really interesting that they did these walls lower right here so you can more easily see into each side. This is the first modular build that I can think of that has done that. And I think it's quite nice because it does make it a lot easier to see, even though that's not what the building would look like inside. Anyways, hope you found this review helpful, and we'll see you next time.